Hey, it's Mike again. Just making another video here. We got a little project going on, and it's an old computer power supply. And what I'm doing is I'm making a power supply for my ham radio here. And instead of going out and buying one, I have the parts here. And yes, it looks all torn apart, but I did get it to trick. I tricked it into powering up without being hooked up to the computer, so at least I figured that part out. So it's all about experimentation. The radio you see here, actually that's the wrong radio that I didn't want to experiment with, but it is an older radio, and let me see, I'll get that out here. Should be right here. This is actually the radio that I wanted to experiment with, if you can see that there. It's kind of doesn't mean too much to me, and it's an off-brand radio, so it doesn't matter. So basically what we have here is we have yellow wires, that's 12 volt, ground obviously, green and ground together will make the power contact. That's the way I tricked it into thinking that it turned on, into thinking it was plugged into the computer motherboard, but it was not. And then we have a lot of other wires distinguished from the red wire, which what I would think would be 12 volts, isn't 12 volts. What is the red wire? It's only plus 5 volts. So that's about it. That's what we're up to tonight, trying to figure this out. Just got back from a ham radio meeting, and I kind of got the idea to experiment with this, and that's what it's all about. Okay, as you can see, a lot of wires and stuff laying around, but I'm going to pick this up a little bit. This is what we got here. Of course, I'm going to make it look a lot better than what it looks like now. I mean, that's kind of crappy, but I'm going to make it look better, so just a little project to work on, you know. Even if it doesn't work, my theory, and we'll see what happens when I turn it on, but my theory is that because I didn't put a 10 ohm resistor in where I should have, it's going to shut the power supply down the minute I key the mic up. But I do think that it will power the radio so that it will at least be on. So we'll see what happens, and I'll come back in a minute when I get it working. Alright, now as you can see, the wires look a little bit cleaner. I know I'm doing this on the floor, not a workbench like I should be, but till I get a place to do it, we live in a small apartment, so till I get a place to do it, I'm not going to be able to have a place to work on my stuff. I'm just going to have to deal with the floor for now and use little things to put the screws in so I don't lose them, because that's the biggest thing about doing electronics on the floor, not to mention your back hurts. So anyways, we'll see how this thing works. It might work, it might not. Like I said, my prediction will be it'll power up the radio. I mean, right here you have 12 volts, which is what the radio needs. And you have your ground here. The red wire would be, I think I mentioned before, the red wires would be, let me see, what were they? They were 5 volts, so that's not even close to being enough. And it's rated up to 350 watts for the power supply. AC input's going to be 6 amps. Well, yeah, 6 amps at 115 volts, so it should work. It should. And I may need to wire in that 10 ohm resistor just so it doesn't. There's a protection circuit in it, I believe, and I think I have to wire that up so that that don't cut in and out every time I try to key the mic. But we'll see how it works. We'll be back. Okay, so what we got is the finished product, finished power supply that I made, and we got the ham radio hookup right here, and our test radio right here. So what we're going to do now is test it, fire it up, and see if it works. And we'll see if I was successful or not. Okay, the first thing I'm going to want to do is take the plug that plugs into the back of the power supply, and right now it's off. You probably can't even see it. I know the light in this room isn't very good, but we're going to plug this in, which I've just done. Now we're going to switch it on, and the fan's moving, which means at least that part was successful. So we're going to switch it off. Okay, and now we're going to take the test radio and hook the test radio up. Okay, test radio is hooked up. Power's off on the test radio. Power's off on the power supply. Okay, so now what we're going to do is turn the power supply on. Power supply is now running. Now we'll try the radio and see if it works, if I was successful in this whole operation. And what do you know? I have kind of a bad screen on this one, that's why it's my test radio. I'll have to pull it apart one day and fix it. Anyhow, when we see it was a successful test, I'm not sure how good the lighting is in here, but show you that the test radio does work. Yeah, I know it's flickering if you can see that, but that's just because it's the only reason for that is it's an old radio. It's sat in my car for a long time, and the screen's just starting to go bad. Cheapy radio. So I guess the next test would be can I transmit on it without the power supply shutting down? So we'll see. So I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's all pretty much all set up. Everything's working great, and I'm really impressed with what I just did tonight. We'll make this power supply design a little bit better, make it look a little more like a real power supply. But anyways, yeah, that's one of our projects that one of our things that we're going to be broadcasting on here. Anybody interested in ham radio? Anybody have anything to add to this? I'm always up for comments. I like to experiment. I like to make antennas. In fact, my antenna right here is just hanging on the window. It's a 2-meter dipole. And I've gotten some great signal reports. I wish I would record that, but maybe tomorrow we'll get on here and do that again. And all you can hear how the sound. So I guess the last step would be to get in on the local repeater and see if I can actually transmit on this thing, or if it'll cut out. My original theory was that it would just all cut out, and who knows. But I have my better radio hooked up, the one I like better, and I'm gonna grab the microphone here, and I'm gonna say my call sign, and we'll see if it works. So here we go. KC8PUT. And I have set the repeater off. And I have a great signal on the radio too, by the way. Yep. So that's that. Nothing cut out. The light didn't even dim on me. Wow. Everything works great. So I'm very happy with that. So, till the next video, we will catch you later.